The people complained against God and Moses. We are disgusted with this wretched food. How very human. The accusation of God's people on their desert journey. Why? It could have been so very different. How very human. A complaint continued by all God's people on their sometimes desert journey. Whether they are ordinary disappointments with spouse or children or friends, or profound losses, divorce, health, the death of one we love, a friend, a job. And sometimes the way we see injustices in politics and in the church. And the TV graphically mirrors wars raging in Syria, Iraq, thousands uprooted, murdered, girls in Nigeria kidnapped, violated, in a world where there is enough for all, starving men, women, and children, and even in opulent countries like our own, the hungry, the homeless, and the hopeless. How very human the complaint. Why? Today's feast is the exaltation of the Holy Cross. And we see Jesus, a beaten, bloody, brutalized man, nailed mercilessly to a crossbar of wood, and then hoisted up so that all could see and jeer at him. And first of all, it is most important that we understand that it wasn't supposed to happen in this way, God's salvation in Jesus. Jesus came from above to proclaim the good news of God's saving, forgiving love. In Jesus, we are given a sign of every human's greatness, made in the image and likeness of God. And those who heard were to believe. And those who believed were to follow. And those who followed were to bring the word of salvation to all the world. But it didn't happen that way. Jesus came vulnerable, subject, like every one of us, subject to the vagaries of our lives, to our genes, to the people around us. And so Paul proclaimed, he humbled himself, becoming obedient to death, even to death on a cross. And because of this, God greatly exalted him, so that every tongue confess that Jesus Christ is Lord, to the glory of God the Father. And so the cross, the hated, disgraced, shameful, and feared symbol of death, stands as the central sign of life, of God's saving love. So here we are, each one of us with crosses of many weights and configurations, and we are to confess not only with our voices, but with our lives, that sorrow and pain and loss is not just waste. Jesus accepted the cross. He fought against it. To him, death was an evil. And God raised him. He raised him through death to resurrection and ascension, to the one from whom he came. And Jesus simply says to you and to me, follow me all the way, with patience in the midst of trial, in understanding perhaps afterwards the way that it leads back from whom we came, to the one who loves us. The evangelist John concluded, God so loved the world that he gave his Son, that the world might be saved through him. All of creation, forgiven, united, at peace. Now this is, of course, the end of time. It's not going to happen in time. And it is uniquely the work of God, the how of it hidden in the mind and heart of God. But all will be redeemed. That comes so clearly through Paul's letters to the Ephesians and Colossians, nothing will be lost because of the love of God. And meanwhile, back on the farm, this earthly, broken, sinful city that is the world, back on the farm, which is our home, in this interim period before God redeems, restores, and renews all of creation, meanwhile, God needs us. God needs us to put Humpty together as best we can. God will not do it without our cooperation, each in our own way. God needs us. You know, that can be a slick cliche or a profound stimulant for unleashing the goodness that is within us. So do we understand what is the glory of God in time. The human family, a community, within which each seeks the good of all, sharing whatever gifts we have as we address the reality of our interdependence. And we do not have to struggle in the dark for a way. The self-giving of Jesus in life and in death guides us and strengthens us. And the example of good people around us mirrors a path for us. And the prayer of St. Francis challenges us. Would you stand, please? And I invite, if you wish, to repeat after me the prayer of St. Francis, so we know that for which we are about. Lord, make me an instrument of your peace.
Lord, make me an instrument of your peace.
Where there is hatred, let me sow love.
Where there is hatred, let me sow love.
Where there is injury, pardon.
Where there is injury, pardon.
Where there is discord, unity.
Where there is discord, unity.
Where there is doubt, faith.
Where there is doubt, faith.
Where there is error, truth.
Where there is error, truth.
Where there is despair, hope.
Where there is despair, hope.
Where there is sadness, joy.
Where there is sadness, joy.
Where there is darkness, light.
Where there is darkness, light.
O divine Master, grant that I may not so much seek.
O divine Master, grant that I may not so much seek.
To be consoled as to console.
To be consoled as to console.
To be understood as to understand.
To be understood as to understand.
To be loved as to love.
To be loved as to love.
For it is in giving that we receive.
For it is in giving that we receive.
It is in pardoning that we are pardoned.
It is in pardoning that we are pardoned.
And it is in dying that we are born to eternal life.
And it is in dying that we are born to eternal life.
You know, we would be naive if we thought that this mission entrusted to us comes at bargain prices. No, it will cost. We will be at odds with the selfishness that is within us. And we will be at odds with a culture that negates the basic principle of gospel principles, that we are not our own, that we belong to another from whom we have received and who expects that we in turn will share who we are and what we have of mind and spirit and even of wealth. And so do we place our lives on the pattern, and we offer all with this Jesus lifted up, crucified, risen and ascended. And we raise our voices, lift high the cross, the love of Christ proclaim, till all the world adore his holy name.